Greetings one and all, my name is Lancer and welcome back once again to Fate Zero. We're watching episode 22 and last time on, Saber pursued Rider, or at least who she thought was Rider, and then found the actual Rider. They engaged in a brief but cool fight, and Saber used Excalibur and destroyed Rider's chariot, but he'll still live to fight. And meanwhile, Kirei perfectly set up Karya to make it look like that he killed Tokiomi in the eyes of his wife, and well, he then killed Ali. And Kirei said just like, it was brilliant. I wish to sample the taste of this wine once again. The Grail War enters its final act as we move with our final chess pieces. Let's get right into the episode. Oh yeah, I had to walk back home. What a day. Sir, it's Monday.
Hey, Waiver! No, not there. Over here.
What are you doing up there?
Enough with the questions. Just come on up here. Let's talk for a while.
He really does like you, boy.
They're just under my spell and...
Oh, go up there. The old man seems to have something important he wants to tell you.
I like that he looks like an older version of Rider. I mean, mainly the beard and just how he looks. You need this.
Don't be shy.
That's not the problem.
Have a talk with your Gramps, even though it's not your grandfather, but
This is the best place to catch the first rays of the morning sun.
it is a beautiful view.
Just how long have you been sitting up here?
When I woke up this morning and checked in on you, I saw you hadn't made it back yet. Thought I'd take the opportunity to watch the sun come up while I waited for my grandson to come home.
So when did you wake up? Like 3 in the morning?
When you were just a tyke, we used to come up to the roof on clear nights and stargaze all the time. When Martha and I decided to live in Japan, we made sure to build our house up here in the hills of Miyama and build it with a large skylight so we could easily gain access to the roof.
That's a hell of a retirement. I'm glad at least nothing happens to these grandparents. You know, this being fate and how fucked up it is, it could have easily been that something bad happens to them, but they're just here. Waiver uses their house and ends up being better for him in the long run.
We never thought our wish would actually come true, though. In all these years, our real grandchildren never once came up here to watch the sky with us. Sadly, whenever I've come up here to stargaze, I've always been alone until now. You really aren't our grandson, are you? It's very strange the way Martha and I were so completely convinced that you were actually part of our family.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Magic.
you were a bit too nice to be our grandson. You really messed up there.
I suppose you're pretty mad.
Well, I guess I probably have every right to be. But lately, Martha's been acting so happy and smiling nearly every moment of every day. Really, I'm very grateful to the both of you. Besides, it doesn't seem to me you decided to move in with Martha and I because you intended to cause us any harm.
The most he did was, alter your memories. That adds to it just the fact that, we had the conversation with Ryder and him just like, oh yeah, I don't want to use a lot of your mana, boy, because it will strain you. But I like that it shows just like the little bit he does use, like it wanes on the spell that he has over them. I like that he doesn't, oh well, gotta double down on it now. Don't need to. It's sad though, just these two, our actual grandchildren, never cared for us that much. Like, oh, that's sad. This is another reason why I love this show, man. This show really has one goal and one objective, and that is to show the Fourth Holy Grail War and show the stories of Kiritsugu and Kirei and how they ultimately end up where they are, and also to get to Shiro as well. But it introduces these original characters to it. So Waiver and Rider, it gives, I feel like, the most development. There's so many of these moments given to them, whereas characters like Kenneth and Salau and Tokiomi, not a whole lot is given to them. I mean, there's not nothing, but it's not to this level. But it does kind of make sense. Those are characters where, they've reached their pinnacle of power and their views of the world. Was Waiver, he's still at his beginning. He's still learning who he is and who he wants to be. I just love it. I love these heartfelt scenes in a show about tragedy.
If you can, Martha and I would really like it if you'd stay with us a while longer.
I can't promise that. I can't even guarantee I'll make it back here safely.
I gather you two are risking your lives?
Yes.
Well, I can't even begin to venture a guess as to how important whatever it is you're doing is to you. But when you've had a long life like me and look back on it all, you come to realize that there is absolutely nothing in this world so valuable or so important that it's really worth risking that life for.
I get the sentiment, but I don't know if that's entirely true. You mean tell me you wouldn't risk your life for your own children and grandchildren? I guess like a more accurate thing for that would be like, there's nothing worth risking your life for that isn't out of love or care. But I guess that also ties into what, you know, Skandar talks about, just like a king must live for his people and be an example, not sacrifice themselves for it. But family's another matter. Of course, I've talked about kind of unconditional love and that kind of stuff in other shows like Hunter x Hunter. It adds more to just also Skandar talking a Waiver just talking about just like the Holy Grail War doesn't have to be the most important event in your entire life. It can be a huge stepping stone, and it is the biggest stepping stone for him in his life, but there will be even grander battles that you'll take part in. This can be just one of them. Nothing worth risking your life over, especially since your wish is just glory. But speaking of risking your life, a familiar set piece.
It's been about 40 hours since I last slept.
It's been a rough 40 hours.
To win the battle and summon the Grail, one must perform the ritual at the location of one of the 4 Fuyuki ley lines, the church and the Tosaka estate. Kirei Kotomine was nowhere to be found, which leaves the other 2. Here at Mount Enzo and the Fuyuki Citizens Building. Given the ley line's relative power, this one is more likely. Even if he's chosen the Citizens Building, I can launch a frontal assault there. If Maya were still alive, I would have sent her to secure it.
I don't know if Maya could have held it on her own, though, because it's Kirei and Gilgamesh. It's interesting. Kiritsugu's on his own now. It also adds to it, just like he's not even considering rescuing Irisvale, because, well, man, at this point, he knows just like she's going to become the Grail either way.
Once again, I'm all alone.
Not completely, though.
Come to think of it, I never really figured her into my plans.
That is part of it, though, yeah. I'm alone. You're not, but this could have been a good moment for, I feel like, both of them to come to an understanding. A lot of shit's happened in the last 24 hours. Maya's dead, Irisvale's gone, you know Kirei's back in the fight, Tokiomi's dead. Saber, by all accounts, defeated Rider temporarily. We kind of have a plan at this point. It's just like, just secure these spots and take out whoever shows up at this point. I mean, now the cat and mouse game is just off the table because it's just down to these locations. Just go there and just wait for the Grail to be summoned and just complete these last battles. But it's more risky at this point with 4 masters, 4 servants. It's funny. It's like, that's still 8 characters. The majority of the cast is gone now. Karia's story is pretty much done at this point. So it's really just Kiritsugu, Kirei, and Waiver. And obviously the servants that they have. It's just the thing with the show. It's Game of Thronesy in that sense. You know, you follow these characters for a while and then just they have their deaths, and then when you keep going with the show, their presence is immediately gone and it's felt. It's like, wow, you miss them, but it's just, you know, it keeps going. Even though a lot of the characters that have died up to this point are characters that, you know, their deaths were inevitable and I don't exactly mourn them. There are those that I do mourn, you know, Lancer. I do kind of miss the Draco Malfoy of Cainith and the weird relationship of Salau, Caster, and Ryunosuke. I mean, they both reached their pinnacles at the end. Assassin never got the chance to really be a character, and then even Tokiomi were reaching the end. But then, yeah, again, Saber and Kiritsugu. Last little interaction they have.
Last night, I've been searching the whole city for Irisvale's location, but I found no sign of her. I am deeply sorry.
He could have at least said something to her, but
If you need me, summon me, using the command seal.
it's just like, yeah. Is there a point in us talking anymore? Sad. It's the last interaction they ever have. And it's not the last interaction she'll ever have with an Emiya, but... Or, well, I'm dumb. It's not the last interaction they have, but it's sort of just the last time they're kind of on similar fields. I mean, Kiritsugu didn't even look at her. That's the first time he's kind of acknowledged her at all. Just like, oh yeah, she is a person. Because, I mean, him being like, I'm all alone. Well, no, the only reason you're still in this fight is because of Saber. It would have been nice to have at least some... Like, even if it was just Saber talking, just some amount of just like, you and I will never see eye to eye, but just know that I'll still fight my best till the very end. You know, I guess it doesn't need to be said at that point. She'll do it. Kiritsugu's alone again. But you know who isn't alone?
Can you hear me, woman?
Why is he fucking Dio Stancy?
This building
Been a while.
was once the place where Castor's young master hid.
Yeah.
Though it appears that Kiritsugu Emiya was never able to locate it.
The only ones who did were Rider and Waiver, funnily enough.
That I'll be the one that will have the power to grant the wish of the Ainsburns.
There is but one man to whom I would entrust the Grail, and it is certainly not you. Kiritsugu Emiya has already seen right through you, Kirei. He recognizes you as his most dangerous enemy.
Your words are as the gospel to my ears.
That's exactly what I want. Good. He fears me. That saves me the effort.
Kiritsugu Emiya is exactly as I imagined him to be, after all.
You couldn't be any further from him if you tried. Even though Kiritsugu can see through you, the reverse is impossible. You have none of the wonderful things that he carries deep inside his heart.
I freely admit it. I'm a man who is empty and desolate inside.
Why are you always choking her? My god.
Senseless slaughter, utter recklessness, wasted effort. If he does not doubt or find this life pointless as I do, then what is he? What is his wish? What would he ask of the Holy Grail?
I don't know if you're ready to hear that.
Is humanity's salvation, an end to all warfare and bloodshed and suffering, true peace upon the earth.
The fact that she's still able to smile.
What was that?
You can never understand it. That is the difference between you two.
Conflict is intrinsic to humanity.
Well, Kirei's already seen through the wish.
To eliminate it completely would mean the elimination of humanity itself.
If only he could have talked to Kiritsugu about that, but not like he would have listened at that point. Kiritsugu had to learn the hard way. The fact that Kiritsugu never really understands that whole thing of just like conflict is intrinsic to humanity. I mean, as much as I try to preach that I have no enemies, I mean, he's not right, but he's not wrong just in the sense that conflict, war, it's just the way the higher ups in the world see it. Conflict in the world provides the need for business, for profit. So just that right there, you know, it's just like Kirei already sees just like his wish is pointless. It means the destruction of humanity itself, because inside every person is the potential for destruction and war. It'd be impossible to entirely remove it. You'd have to rewrite humanity itself, in which case we'd be heading into an Evangelion situation. But we'll save that for the end.
Nonsense that a child would spout.
Well,
His only hope is for a true miracle. Many times, Kiritsugu has been forced to sacrifice the lives of people he's loved because of his beliefs.
pretty much everyone he's ever loved.
He must love, even knowing it will mean losing that love.
I understand.
He'll lose everyone he cares about. Might as well expedite it. One last choke for the road. No Avalon to save her this time.
So that is Kiritsugu Emiya. At last I see it. My reason for fighting, Kiritsugu Emiya. I shall grind your ideals to dust right before you, along with the Holy Grail you long for.
His reason for fighting, to destroy Kiritsugu. Throughout this whole show, and every time I talk about it, I always give such praise to Kiritsugu that I feel like I don't give enough praise to Kirei, because I feel like Kiritsugu is as good as he is in this story because he has Kirei as his antithesis and rival, but it works as well as it does because they never meet until the very end, which is why I kind of wish we had at least a little bit more of their conversation be about just like, what exactly are you? What drives you? What madness have you reached to think that this is a true ideal? They'll never understand each other, and that is the point, I feel. But now Kirei's taken something else from Kiritsugu. You figured it would be a bigger deal to Kiritsugu, it's just like, I killed Irisvale, but Kiritsugu like already has been mourning her since this war started, and it's like he's already accepted that she's dead. So just like Kirei like kind of thrown out just like, I killed your wife. It's like, okay, she was gonna die either way. I'm glad that that never ended up being a thing. In another show it would have been. Speaking of the last bastion of hope.
Woke up, boy. But I thought it might be good to take our time with preparations. Tonight, there's no reason to rush.
I mean, it's gonna be the last battles.
It feels like everything will be concluding tonight.
Is that because there are fewer participants still in the fight?
There's only 4.
From now on, only the truly strong remain in the battle.
I like that. Him putting his hand on what was his kingdom at one time.
It's a very strange mana surge. I've felt something similar before.
4 servants and 4 masters.
4 and 7 in different colors.
Oh, never mind.
Success and victory. Does that mean that someone got the Grail and the war is over?
In essence, somebody is getting way ahead of themselves and claiming to be victorious.
I've never understood this. It's like, oh, victory. Like, who did this? Was it Kirei? I don't know. I guess it's just like a thing of just like, yes, come to us. Let's end this.
That says, if you object, come and get me.
Yeah.
It is an obvious challenge.
This is it then.
Quite right, boy. Now that we have our battlefield, I must go forth and bring honor to the rider class, and ride gloriously into the final fray!
I mean, Rider's already brought more honor to the Rider class than any other Rider in all of Fate. I mean, there's some cool Riders. I mean, Medusa, and specifically Heavensfield, does some cool stuff, but it's not till the very end of that route, I feel. There's some other cool Riders out there. Astolfo being a Rider, but Iskandar, I think, has brought the most honor.
It may not be as smooth a ride as by chariot, but... Hey, what are you waiting for?
From this point, only the truly strong can continue, right?
What has been the point of anything we've talked about?
By his command seal, Waiver Velvet orders you, fight, until you attain the victory you seek. And by my command seal, I further order that you, Rider, go now and win the Holy Grail. And by command seal, I further order, Rider, take the world for your own. I will not tolerate failure.
Conquer the world.
It's all over. I'm no longer your master. Go wherever you wish. I don't even want to see you.
I'll certainly be on my way in a moment. But after all those annoying orders you just gave...
Those redundant orders.
I used the command seals and quit being your master! Why would you still want to take me, damn it?
Master or not, boy, you are still my friend and always will be.
Huh?
To the end. The ends of the earth.
You're really okay with me?
After all this time. After all this week and a half, or however long. Of course.
After all the battles you and I have seen together, you have to ask that?
Why not the last one?
Have you not faced the same enemies as I have? That means you're my friend. So be proud and consider yourself my equal.
My brother in arms, my friend. Ugh.
Now, boy, keep your eyes open to the end.
Hold on tight.
Well, let's see what you can do. Right before my open eyes.
You know what he can do. You've seen it. Come home safe.
He chose the place least suited to the required ritual, only to gain the early initiative in battle.
Yeah. They
In
come
other
to
words,
them.
His plan is not to obtain the Grail, but rather to use it as bait, to lure me and the other masters into a trap.
Makes sense.
If he's going to be this incompetent, I'll just outmaneuver and eliminate him quickly.
He still holds the advantage knowing you're coming.
I must say, you look particularly ferocious tonight. Do you wish for me to stay here and wait?
Unleashing all of your power at this close range could endanger the ceremony itself. If you want to fight at full strength, you'll have to go out and meet them.
What if this place falls under attack while I'm gone?
Will you allow me to utilize the command seals to save myself?
You technically have two servants here.
But I do not guarantee the Holy Grail's safety.
We know who he's gonna fight.
It will be fate.
This is fate.
But have you still no prayer to offer the Holy Grail?
I can think of nothing I want. My only hope is that nothing will interfere with the conduct of the battle we're about
My
to
wish
enter.
is to know my wish.
As I suspected, the only recourse is to let the Grail reveal what hides within your heart.
Honestly, Kirei's wish, it might just be like, oh, give me the joy I seek, and it kills him.
If it appears as if Saber will be arriving here before I can return, just have Berserker entertain her for a little while. What happened to the doll that was so important to her?
I took her life. I had no reason to let her continue living.
Well, it's part of the ritual anyway. She was gonna die. Oh god, right, I forget this is a thing. The many other Iris Veils that came before you.
Are you crying?
Oh, fuck off. It'd be interesting if she got to, like, speak to the original Einsburn. Like, we got to see her in, like, that robe and all that. This one's a little different.
I dreamed that I turned into a cup. These 7 gigantic lumps started to come into my body. It's okay. I would never let that happen. I promise that will never happen to you.
That's why we're doing this. Oh, god.
That you'll be released from the shackles of fate.
I will not allow you to stay the night. This is an Ava moment. It's just like, what the fuck is happening? It makes sense to me now, though.
Inside the Holy Grail? This shouldn't be happening.
It's like the opening visuals with the black coming out of her face.
If I'm here... Who am I?
Who am I? I like that this song is used again in Heavensfield.
This is inside the Holy Grail. The omnipotent wish-granting device that will dispel all the world's sadness.
Oh, it'll try to.
I have the power to make that happen. The end is nearly at hand.
4 hours, episode 22, all the evil in the world. That is part of the summoning incantation. Well, that was episode 22 of Fate Zero. I know I've said it like every episode, but now truly the last act begins. We've been talking about like episodes that work as movies. These three that we just did, 20, 21, 22, it's like that's the part 1 movie, and then 23, 24, 25, that's the part 2 movie. I mean, that there, we're talking about seeing our true natures. Airi's true nature finally comes out. Again, it's fun watching this knowing that the Holy Grail, they worship it throughout this whole show, this omnipotent wish granter. But when you then watch, you know, Fate's Day Night and all the other Fate stuff, it's like the Holy Grail is not this divine being that you think it is. I mean, it is this divine creature, but it's not this pure being that like, oh, it wants what you want, it will grant this wish. It's a monkey's paw of a wish granter, but it is also, it's what allows Kiritsugu to see the truth. But it's interesting seeing Airi here at the end and kind of like this Evangelion style, just her being in the Grail, which again, when I first saw it, I didn't know what the fuck it meant, but like hearing the eerie music and Airi's smile, it's just like, is Airi evil? And just having the title of the episode be all the evil in the world. It's never, at least not in the stuff I've seen, it's not really explained in full detail what exactly the Grail is. The third magic, Heaven's Feel, all this bullshit. It is this source of infinite power, but like it has its own conscience. It's kind of like Father in Full Metal, where it's like it's seeking to gain this ultimate power by consuming all of humanity. And once it does, it challenges God in a way, or just becomes God. Which is why like I would like to see a twisted version of this story where I'm sure it's in one of the many bad endings of Fate's Day Night where the Grail is fully realized. What does the world look like after that? Because I mean, we see a glimpse of it in this, and also in versions of Fate's Day Night where, you know, when the Grail tries to birth itself and becomes into the world. But again, we'll see more of that in the coming episodes. But for now, again, this stretch of episodes 20 to 22, they're again sort of the last breathers we have before we go into the ending. But at the same time, they're the most melancholic episodes. Really, it's just Rider and Waiver who are the last pure, like, joyful characters that we have. Because at least, like, Kaineth and Salao and even Tokiyomi to extend, like, though they're bastard characters, they were at least entertaining. Because now all that's left is, you know, the dead inside characters that are just like, ah, yes, we'll see it through to the end. But it's some episodes that kind of feel like are unsung just because it's like the build up to the final battles. I mean, the setups are there. We're gonna have Saber and Berserker, and then obviously Gilgamesh and Rider. Rider has fought every battle he's wanted to fight except for this last one, but that will be for next time where we see the conclusion of that fight. But either way, this is my reaction to episode 22 of Fate Zero. Join me next time for episode 23 as everything else be coming out soon. So until next time, I'm Lancer. Thanks for watching.